Okay, we're live on Facebook and we're live on Blog Talk Radio. I'm going to get to the studio on the computer, which was doing all sorts of crazy stuff here. Welcome, everyone, to the Militia Intelligence Report. We are live. I hope I'm on the proper Facebook profile. And yeah, we'll get going here in a second. So, yeah, we're going to cover what's going on with the coronavirus tonight. You're not going to, might as well just, uh, I'm going to take this opportunity to tell folks stop sending me any information from any other sources. I don't need it. We have our own sources here, and I can tell you right now that they are giving out to CVS employees documents to allow them to be out on the street. They're gonna. This is. It seems to be. This is pretty evident, or the proceedings are evidently pointing to an increased lockdown. There are MRAPs on Fifth Avenue in New York City, in Manhattan. Driving by all of the iconic New York City shopping centers that are closed and emptied. And so the shopping centers are closed and emptied in the city that never sleeps, and the United States military occupation, the enemy occupation carried out by what is being called the United States military, is very much underway. It was underway hours ago today. So it's not like this is just happening, and it's not like we didn't warn you. I should have done this. I really should have put in there in the title of tonight's show, we told you so. We've been telling you. We've been warning you. We've been right every step of the way, not because we're so smart, just because all this is so obvious. It's put out there, the information. Oh, they're building FEMA camps. Oh, here they're FEMA camps. They have them in at least two in every state. That stuff was old 12 years ago. That stuff was old news 12 years ago. What did everybody think, that because they short sold the stock market, that they pumped and dumped the stock market and the employment numbers, that their plan for a global lockdown and global martial law was out the window? Come on now. Oh, hey, Cliff won't be able to call in tonight. That's too bad, because Cliff is live from one of the original lockdown center, or the original lockdown center in the United States. He's in San Francisco. So that's very disappointing, but we are all getting this now. As I said, I'm going to see if I can if I can pull up. No, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just telling you that they're giving out special permits now here in Richmond, Virginia, and across the country for CVS workers, so that they can present their excuse to be out on the street. I'm not talking about areas that are already completely locked down, like New York and California and Illinois. I'm talking about right here in Virginia. They're permits. They're handed out. So right now, here in Richmond, to CVS workers, they are giving out, and this is CVS Pharmacy for those who are outside the United States. I believe that that's a global corporation. In any event, they have already, as of this afternoon, given out special permits to CVS workers so they can present them to military martial law enforcers. And I shouldn't say martial law, military rule enforcers, police, and other enemy military agents, so that Americans can be permitted to be out on the street. This is happening right now. Right now, they're giving out permits here in Richmond, Virginia, not in New York, not in California. Permits are going out. So the idea that there's not going to be a lockdown across the country, or that the lockdown isn't in place when they're telling us that we can't be out on the street, we can't meet and gather in groups of more than 10 individuals, that's global lockdown. That's global martial law. That's underway right this second, and the economy has collapsed. And as I said before, everything is simple when one comprehends that this was a pump and dump operation. When one talks about the economic impacts of this coronavirus. So we discuss continually the fact that when corporate debt is at a record high, which it is, that hiring when corporate debt is at a record high is counterintuitive unless one knows that these corporations knew that they didn't have to the money to pay their largest expense, which is overhead. We know that robots and drones are even replacing, the one of these ridiculous, jobs that are created in this failed economy, like dog walking. Now they're showing all over the media today that a robot can do that job. So they don't have any real necessary jobs. That's why most folks are not necessary. Their jobs aren't necessary. So why is there record unemployment, and then 3 weeks after the record unemployment numbers, almost all of the workers that kept getting hired during this record unemployment are now unessential? It's called pump and dump. Pump it up and then dump it all. That's what went on with this economy. Pump up the stock market. The stock market, as we tell you every week, in simple terms, no one else tells you more simple than we do, that when there's those helicopter money activities, as the size of the Fed's balance sheet increases, it equally increases by percentage at the very same time in the stock market. So all this increase, this shoot up in the record high in the stock market since Trump took over, this thing we keep hearing over and over again, wiped out all the losses, all the gains during the Trump administration in the stock market, and lost them in 3 weeks. Pump and dump. Pump and dump. Simple as that. Pump and dump. Pump it up, overinflate it, and then dump it. Pull the rug out from underneath everyone. I mean, how many we're going to go through specifically about everything that I'm saying, but if anybody's paying any attention at all to anything important that's going on in the world, and now's the time to do it. And I can tell you, I see the numbers, and our enemy has done a good job at preventing individuals from knowing exactly what's going on. I can see what's going on, and I'm not. I got no motivation to lie about it, and it's verified. It's so verified that they cannot censor my information enough on Facebook, on YouTube, on the internet, in every different place, Live Leak, Vimeo, all of them. All of it. All of it. And it's simply because the truth is self-evident, and what is happening now is what we've been predicting for years and years and years. I wrote a book about it. I wrote a book about how the financial system works, how everyone is a slave to it, how there's something called continuity of government and continuity of operations, and that the government that idiots think that they participate in during rigged elections is meaningless. And FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security are running this government under operations called continuity of government and continuity of operations. And they're running them from secret military bases, mostly, but not all, under the surface of Earth. And, you know, folks, they was, oh, that's crazy. You got to be crazy not to see this stuff. You got to be completely irresponsible when it comes to knowing what's going on in the world around you, not to know about these things. But I can tell you what, 99.9% of the population, even while it's happening to them directly, they don't know anything. They don't know anything about this stuff. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. So, I'm going to see if we can get everybody on the same page, literally on the same page, reading from the Militia Handbook. I lent my neighbor my only copy of the Militia Handbook last night. So, anyway, hopefully I'll get that back this weekend. Let's see, but hey, everybody can look at it on the internet. Not what I wanted to. I wish to sell this thing, but hey, it's too important. It's too important for money. Everybody knows at this point the money system is just an absolute joke, and that this is all about corporate bailouts and resetting the economy. And when we put that out there, YouTube takes it down. So that's all right. Whatever. I mean, because as I said, I wrote a book about it. Here we go with folks go, is the coronavirus there is a lot of different kinds of coronaviruses. We say this every show. There's a coronavirus. There's a thing called the coronavirus. It's patented. And there are numerous kinds of coronavirus. So we know all off of the freaking internet. They do that every way they can. Let's see. Reading from the Militia Handbook. Let's see. Are we? Flip left. All right. I'll read to you about underground bases and deep underground military bases, doomsday seed vaults, and underground cities, because that's what's going on. That's where these guys are going. Hey, Sergey Brin and Larry Page just resigned. What's going on with all these CEOs resigning? Sergey Brin, Larry Page just resigned. Jacob Rothschild just resigned from RIT Partners. That's really the largest private, equity firm that's operating in China and operating around the world. That's where all the billionaires put all their private funds, and it's run by, Jacob Rothschild. So he just retired. Okay, so all right. In every corner of the globe, the shadow government operates underground cities, military bases, and a transportation system which connects them. Underground and undersea facilities have numerous purposes, including weapons deployment, command, communication, and manufacture of secret technology. They also serve as an ark capable of preserving human life and food along with basic modern technology. The underground and undersea bases have storage and deployment capacity for nuclear weapons. The facilities under the Earth's surface are designed to deliver and withstand nuclear blasts. Undersea bases are capable of docking nuclear submarines, which can strike above, can strike after above ground facilities are obliterated. The institutions that control military superpowers, including the United States, have created a doomsday scenario through the proliferation of nuclear weapons and constant war crimes. The same institutions have created an escape route in case they purposely or inadvertently instigate a catastrophic event, including but not limited to nuclear strikes. So, this is a catastrophic event that they have created. The coronavirus, they created it in a lab. They have patented it. All one has to do is a simple Google search for coronavirus patent, and they will find that that is the case. So this is exactly what we are talking about. In case they purposely, yes, or inadvertently, no, instigate a catastrophic event, including but not limited to nuclear strikes, including but not limited to. So this biological warfare attack that seems to be a pretext for other things other than an actual pandemic when one looks at the numbers and remembers the swine flu. I had the swine flu. The swine flu I got came out of the Defense Department. My brother was ill, and everybody at the Defense Department during the swine flu outbreak was getting rushed to the emergency room, wearing masks. Nobody could show up at the work at the Defense Department back during the swine flu without masks. They freak out about my brother, a healthy man. At that point, he was either in his late 30s or early 40s. And then my mother went up to visit him, and then she got the swine flu. A woman in her late 60s who was is a cancer survivor. Now they freak out with her, not with him, a healthy person working in the Pentagon, where this swine flu came from. And then I caught it, and the rest of the people in my family caught it, and then 51 million people had that. A lot more than the coronavirus now. And that was a flu. A flu sucks. Flu's not cool. But everyone survived it. And when my mother went to the doctor, they said, "Yeah, you probably got the swine flu. We're not even going to test for it. You got the swine flu though. Just go home, take it easy." 51 million people got that swine flu. All right, let's get back to where they're operating under, what they're doing. And that was just an example of, hey, I had personal experience with the swine flu. I heard my brother got it. I heard about the protocol at the Defense Department. Then my mom got it, although she just got the verbal indication she got it from a doctor. So we're not even going to bother testing. Yeah, you definitely got that. And then I got sick, and then a lot of other people I know also got sick from the swine flu, who I found out afterwards never came into any contact with me. So it wasn't just this isolated thing, it was all around 51 million people. Does anybody know anyone out there who has the swine flu? We've been asking this question for weeks. We've been asking it for weeks. Anybody know anybody with the swine flu? I've yet to hear it. I've yet to hear it. Modern warfare and suppression of rights is always fomented through a clandestine operation. Terrorist attacks are carried out by the intelligence agencies acting on behalf of the Zionist shadow government. These attacks are blamed on uninvolved groups or individuals. A government plan called continuity of operations was instigated as a result of the September 11, 2001 false flag attacks carried out against the American people by Khazarian, Zionist, fake Jews, Synagogue of Satan, whatever you want. It says Zionist in the book, so you can read between the lines. Inside the U.S. and Israeli governments. The continuity of operations is a federal initiative directed by FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security. Continuity of operations, as defined in the National Security Presidential Directive -20 NSPD 51/HSPD 20 and the National Continuity Policy Implementation Plan is an effort within individual and executive departments and agencies to ensure primary mission essential functions continue to be performed during a wide range of emergencies, including localized acts of nature, accidents, and technological or attack-related emergencies. This is an attack-related emergency. That's what this is. This is an attack-related emergency. That's what this coronavirus is. So, all right, I'm going to go see if I can get on the Blog Talk Radio studio and see if we have any callers calling in. As we said, Clifford is not going to be able to. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Sledge Rules. Just event 201. I mean, there's so many things to talk about, and we definitely have talked about event 201 and what all that entails. Johns Hopkins University, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So let's get some exact things about event 201, because this is part of what's happening. It's a larger part of event 201 is a smaller part of this continuity of government that was set in place long before this. When folks were concerned about this gun grab in Virginia, Zoom. When folks were they keep knocking me off. When folks were worried about this gun grab in Virginia, that's what this was all about. When you could go, lawfully armed, or any place you wished in about half of the United States that was, had open carry laws, they just wiped that out in a matter of weeks using these fake shootings, and now they're just telling folks you can't even go outside. They got drones walking your dog and yelling at you, telling you to go back inside. Soon that the Israeli 8200 Ministry of Defense, which is providing the United States with lethal robotics, including but not limited to drones. I mean, lethal. Now they're just yelling at you for being outside. Now a machine is just a machine is yelling at a human being who God gave dominion to on this earth. God did not give dominion to the government. God did not give dominion to the drones. And now these drones are, hey, don't worry about your dog. If you die, we'll have a drone walk your dog. And this reminds me of these kind of, I don't know, these limited hangout, controlled opposition groups, like the folks that were like the what do you call that? Zeitgeist. Those folks, they had great information. I mean, they just, they're insiders. They know, like, if basically you're either a whistleblower, which a whistleblower doesn't mean anything. You're either one of the very small number of folks that are telling the truth about what's going on for no purpose other than, hey, to warn people, or for me it's for, so I can sleep at night. Because I know, and there's another group of folks that know, and they're in on it, so they let you know a certain amount because they're insiders, and then they leave out certain amounts. But I can tell you these zeitgeist and whatever the thing, the Jew, fake Jew Khazar synagogue of Satan that's behind the head guy there. They'll show you this utopian society where nobody has to go to work, and it's super modern. But where are the people? They're not outside. You know, I mean, nature is where man is supposed to be in, not a city. And that's what they're doing with this Agenda 21. I mean, obviously, this is Agenda 21. We say this every week. Agenda 21, continuity of government, continuity of operations. Read the Bank for International Settlements book called The Green Swan. They have everybody worried, a misdirection, climate change, climate crisis. But then they don't even have to have a real pandemic, and then they shut everything down without a whimper. Event 201, the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security in partnership with the World Economic Forum. That's in Davos, Switzerland. We cover that every year. And the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation hosted Event 201. Event 201? Like, that sounds like Bill and Melinda Gates host Event 201. This year it's a masquerade ball. These folks are masquerading as anybody with legitimate authority, because they don't have it. They hosted it October 18th, 2019. I remember that just like it was yesterday. That's before last Halloween. And actually, that coincides with the deployment of the United States Marine Corps within the United States for an emergency, along with social and civil unrest, to help local authorities with an emergency and civil unrest. October 3rd, 2019, the United States Marine Corps deployed inside the United States. We'll get to that in a minute. But this coincides with it, this Event 201. The exercise illustrated areas where public-private partnerships, like I was saying, CVS is issuing a you can be outside card to their essential employees. So again, public-private partnership, we've already covered that. We've laid it out to you in every sort of way. The exercise illustrated areas where public-private partnerships, CVS and the United States government, we've established. I've seen the document. I've seen the papers. Will be necessary during the response to a severe pandemic in order to diminish large-scale economic and societal consequences. Too late! It's the worst economic consequences and the worst societal consequences. We have lost, I haven't lost it, but there is an order out to eliminate, not just reduce, eliminate freedom of assembly. Freedom of assembly. Freedom of assembly, it's the basis of everything. Freedom of assembly. Oh, hey, you can't go to the grocery store. You can't go to the bar. You can't go to the gym. Um, but I wish to. Oh no, you can't do that. All right, well, I'll have 10 or 15 people over to have a barbecue in my backyard. No, you can't do that. You don't have any freedom of assembly. Oh, well, okay. I'll just go out. I'll just go out for a walk. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. You gotta sit in your house. Well, what am I gonna do? Sit in my house? I guess I'll watch sports. No, can't do that. Sorry. And if you're in Pennsylvania, well, okay. Well, I guess I'll go to the ABC store. Hmm. No, you can't do that. The ABC stores are closed. So I guess I'll just sit at home and watch this fear mongering on TV because there's absolutely nothing to do. Yeah, do that. Do that. Yeah, yeah. That's what we want you to do. Do that. Okay. Problem solved. Event 201. Back to event 201. Just exhibiting the last part. Event 201 didn't work. If it was to be believed, if its purpose was really to diminish. So I'll read between the lines and I'll translate the last sentence to you. The exercise, and we're talking about event 201. The exercise illustrated areas where public-private partnerships will be necessary during the response to a severe pandemic in order to increase large-scale economic and societal consequences. That's what they really mean. That's what they really absolutely mean. In recent years, the world has been seeing a growing number of epidemic events, amounting to approximately 200 events annually. Okay, so if we have 200 events annually and they don't shut everything down, why this year for a event that is less deadly thus far than the swine flu, than the H1N1, and that the actual regular flu is last year and every other year that I can think of just in the United States, comparing United States deaths to worldwide deaths, comparing United States deaths last year to global coronavirus deaths this year. The United States flu deaths from last year dwarf They make minuscule the global deaths from this coronavirus created in a lab, patented by the Purebright Institute. In recent years, okay, we just read that. Excuse me, my apologies. These events are increasing and they are disruptive to health, economies, and society. Managing these events already strains global capacity. So, just like everything else, the economy is holding on by a string. It's fraudulent, it's artificial, and it's illiquid at this point. If anyone really wishes to know what the problem with society is there's no liquidity out there. We told you about this 9 months ago when the repo markets started going haywire. That's the overnight emergency lending apparatus for the global economy, not for you and me and regular people, for corporations, and not just regular corporations from the Fortune 500 corporations. That's what the repo market is for. Let's see. Getting back to event 201. Managing these events. Oh yeah, we just said that. That's why the repo markets went crazy. Experts agree that it's only a matter of time, and that's why oil prices are below $30 a barrel, and why gas prices in Kentucky and certain other places are under $1. Back in 2008, I remember paying almost $5 a gallon. Okay. in any event. Nothing means anything anymore. Everybody's lost their job. Not everybody, but it's the we went from an all-time low in unemployment to a record weekly unemployment claim in what has it been 2 weeks? If it's been 2 weeks, it's only been 2 weeks. And that gets back to what we stated earlier in the show. When one wants to comprehend anything about this, the hype, the drastic swings in the stock market, if you comprehend anything, it's accurate to describe it as short selling. The whole system was sold. And another way to comprehend it is artificially pump it up and then dump it. And we'll get into all of the senators and members of the executive branch and the family members of Kushner and Trump and all these other guys, all the insider trading that's going on. They have these meetings, and then as they're going out of their meetings, they're like, sell, 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 sell. Fill my pockets, fill my pockets, fill my pockets. Sell everything else, buy Walmart stock. That's what the senators are saying. That's what all the insiders are saying. But it's like, hey, wait a second. We read an article last week where they said millions of Walmart employees are told to work from home. How the hell can a Walmart employee work from home? Maybe 10 or 15,000 that are, work in the infrastructure of the company. However, vast majorities, they can't work from home. And if they're told to work from home and things are looking bad and they're furloughing everybody at Walmart, why did the Walmart stock go up 13% yesterday? And today, it's just shooting straight up. Just straight up. So, there you go. Doesn't make any sense. It's counterintuitive. Unless you know that this is all about pumping and dumping. Unless you know this is a controlled demolition of the economy and the system as it is. And that what is replacing it is a draconian system of 100% control, a complete destruction of everybody's freedom. A severe pandemic, which becomes Event 201, would require reliable cooperation among several industries, national governments, and key international institutions. Okay, so there you have it. Event 201. Statement about new coronavirus and our pandemic exercise. Okay, so they've removed certain parts, and let's see. Yeah. Okay, they say in the October, and this is really funny, from Johns Hopkins University and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Statement about new coronavirus, or NCOV, and our pandemic exercise. See, they don't even want to write the word coronavirus on these things, because then it'll get into search engines and all. They're so slick. They're so slick about what they're doing. In October 2019, the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security hosted a pandemic tabletop exercise called Event 201 with partners, the World Economic Forum, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Recently, the Center for Health Security has received questions about whether that pandemic exercise predicted the current novel coronavirus outbreak in China. To be clear, the Center for Health Security and partners did not make a prediction during our tabletop exercise. For the scenario, we modeled a fictional coronavirus pandemic, but we explicitly stated that it was not a prediction. Okay. Hilarious. Hilarious. Yes. We held a exercise that is a scenario that is exactly happening 5 months later, but it's not a prediction, and we even said it wasn't a prediction. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Here we go. All right. This is getting absurd, folks. You know what they are. I mean, the absurd. That's why they did have to shut everything down, because it was just getting so absurd. Oh, record economy. Don't pay any attention to the record number of people that are without a shelter, without any covering on them, without without a work, without a job. Don't worry about that, because it's record unemployment. Oh, it's just this coronavirus. Oh, yeah, but wasn't the H1N1 like 100 times as bad? Yeah, but that's something that you're only gonna spread to 1.3 people. This you're gonna spread to 3.4 people, and that only had a death rate of 0.1, and this has a death rate of 0.3. Yeah, I mean, or 1.3. I mean, I don't know. I mean, does it? Well, then why aren't a lot of persons dying? Or if a lot of persons are dying, then why are they lying to us and showing that it's a small number of individuals dying? And if there are a lot of individuals are dying, how come nobody I know and nobody I know, nobody they know has the coronavirus? How come? I talk often about the hunchback and the soldier, which is what Crowley inverted, which he inverted stuff. That's what he liked to do. He was clever like that. No, not giving you any answers, just throwing up, obfuscation. I mean, he's just a regular old intelligence agent. I'm a, I'm a different kind of intelligence analyst, among other things. So I say the hunchback and the soldier. And the hunchback always precedes and follows the soldier. The hunchback is the question, the soldier is the exclamation point. How can anybody ask any of these questions and not just be like, oh, this is a total fraud? Everything's just a fraud. And, well, there you go. But you see the public being intelligent. Now they're selfish and intelligent, and we told them how to do proper things with military arms and political action, but they didn't listen. So now they're panic buying guns. So they're not believing the lies, but they already screwed up. It's already too late. I think a lot of criminals are just out buying guns because they think that they're gonna just go around robbing people. I think that that's a reason for the spike in gun sales. And I also think that folks know that they got to arm themselves. So there you go. I mean, I'm not too concerned about things right now, but I am telling you that already in areas not under lockdown, not under the complete lockdown, which is don't go outside, there are papers that certain individuals are getting to go through checkpoints in the United States. They're planning on military checkpoints, and they're giving individuals papers. So, I mean, we've had checkpoints for years. I mean, what do you call these DUI checkpoints? Unconstitutional, martial law, violation of every kind of right. But now what I'm telling you is they're checkpoints. Like every street in every state in every city in every county in Virginia, they're planning for checkpoints, and they didn't wait till the weekend was over. They didn't wait till Monday to give the proper papers. So when we all think about this nonsense, well, about Nazi Germany and the Gestapo going up, your papers, please. I mean, that's the image we get from the Synagogue of Satan media. I'm telling you, it's been going on in the U.S. for years. It probably much worse than ever in Nazi Germany. Much worse ever than Nazi Germany. But I'm telling you, right now they're giving the proper, or what they call under this continuity of operations, the proper paperwork to workers at CVS Pharmacy, and I presume that they're giving them to a lot of other individuals as well in the quote unquote primary mission essential function industries. So there we have it. So let's get a call in number. If any folks want to call in, that would be great. I would love to hear folks calling in. Calling number is 646-668-2151. That number again, 646-668-2151. So we'll keep going. It's not like we lack anything to discuss or talk about during this broadcast. We told you so. Gonna continue saying this, and we're not the only ones, but we're the ones that told you most exactly everything that was going on, and most importantly, what to do about what is going on, what to do about it, and like I said, Plan A is out the window. It's out the window because they already have it on lockdown, and they being the criminal organized crime syndicate masquerading as the United States government. They already have everything on lockdown. So let's get into some of the headlines to verify everything that we're saying. And the most important thing I saw today was was the paper, the documentation that certain individuals are getting that they are to present at military and police checkpoints within the Richmond metro area. Let's see. So, absolutely. Waiting for call in. Lines are open. Oh, we do have a call. So we're obviously going to give short leashes, but we do have a call. 631 caller. Let's see. 631 caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Chris? It's Matt from New York. I called him last week also.
Oh, greetings. Yeah, thanks for calling in again. Yeah, what are your thoughts tonight during this unprecedented period that we're experiencing?
It's really just insane. I mean, everything that you and other people have been talking about for years, and now it's coming true. I mean, I live in a pretty densely populated area, and usually when you go out during the day, you see cars everywhere. And today I tried to get my hair cut because my hair is getting a little long. And the governor here, shut down all the barber shops, all the nail salons, all the hair salons, and there was almost no cars out. But, it looked like I lived, in another part of the country where there aren't that many people.
Yeah, everybody's inside. I mean, I'm not. I like to be outside. I went for a walk, and I did see other folks out walking. But as far as cars, traffic, yeah, the traffic is greatly reduced here in the
And
Richmond.
one other thing, Chris,
Yeah,
if I could.
go ahead. Certainly.
Sorry if I interrupted.
No, no, no,
I
no.
saw a
Please.
video of a Costco. I think it was in California. Maybe Chris has seen this, but the line was literally like a mile long, and the person that was filming it was walking around the store, and people were still getting on as she was walking around. I mean, I watched it in about 2.5 speed or 2 times speed or whatever, and so they're allowed to stay open, right?
Right.
Walmart and Target are allowed to stay open, but my barber, these guys, they don't make that much money. They run a little barber shop in my town. What are they supposed to do? How are they going to pay for their bills and whatnot now? It's just ridiculous.
Whatever the government gives them.
They're just.
I think that's the answer. That I.
I
Yeah. Sorry. I think the government is expecting that they're going to take whatever the government gives them. So here's another thing that they're saying. It's like, yeah, there's a plan to bail out the corporations. The stocks of a lot of these leisure activities, like the hotel industry and the cruise industry, they went up today because they know that they're going to get bailed out. Well, yeah, but they're getting bailed out, and I think that they're already equivocating on this thing where they say that they're going to give $1,000 to every American. They've been saying that for a week and a half now. They haven't sent any checks out. Now they say, well, we can't send it out to every American.
wouldn't hold your breath, Chris.
Well, here, let me get to the next part. Now they're saying, well, how are they going to start distributing? How are they going to distribute? And then they say, taxpayers. So are they distributing as far as who's already gotten this year's taxes in when they give an extension? Or is that just the next thing that they go like, okay, maybe not just all taxpayers, maybe those who we decide. I mean, they're just, and they're waiting because people need money now. They need it now. And that they're not going to get it now.
And Chris,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be against that.
Well, all I can say about that is, yeah, I mean, if some.
Sending folks money, especially in this time, it's an emergency.
Right, but why haven't they done it already?
Hyping it up.
Yeah, why haven't they done it already?
They're not going to do it. They're going to just bail out these companies. They're not going to give the stupid Goyim any money.
Well, I'm not Goyim. I'm a true Israelite by blood, and
No, I'm just saying, what they call us.
well, I mean, what I call them is worse. I mean, what I call them, I can't say because the broadcast will be completely, immediately shut down. So it doesn't matter. All I'm saying is that they're already equivocating on what already should have happened, and I can tell you when it does that the main point of all this, and now we're going to get to this caller after I get this point out, and stay on the line, Matt, if you'd like, that this is, instant. Within 3 weeks, global communism, global Marxism has been implemented. It's in, like, all in. The total communist reset is underway, including draconian laws against freedom of assembly and even going outside. All right, we're going to get to another caller. 423 area code. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from? Oh, greetings, Brianne. Yeah, happy to have you on the Militia Intelligence Report. What are your thoughts tonight?
Yeah, I was wondering if you like bestiality.
If I like what now? Okay.
She asked if you like bestiality, Chris.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
So obviously this is some sort of, degenerate agent or something.
Agent. Yeah, definitely. Wow. That is, and immediately hung up. Hold on. And that person's number. Hey, let's. That person's phone number is four.
Nothing going on in your life where these people do this?
I don't think that's the case. I think that they are paid. The person's number is 423.
I mean, just to do that, you think they would? You think they would say something a little bit more constructive, or maybe try to, distract you? Or
But I mean,
some sort of false information. But they come on and they say, "Do you like bestiality?" and then hang up.
Here's the thing with that. They say the most shocking thing that they can think of because they have to get it in quick because they know we'll cut the person off the line. And the number is that caller's number is 423-482-4066. So if anybody out there listening, I know there's a lot of folks listening, can you call up the number 423-482-4066 and see what's going on with that? Because it seems person seems very disturbed, and I believe that they are, I'd like to see whether that's an FBI number, whether that is an NSA number. It's something, but the number again is 423-482-4066. That's the number of the individual that just called. And yeah, I mean, look it up, call it up, record your calling this person. But yeah, 423-482-4066. I don't know. Matt, do you know how to get somebody calling on three-way?
I'm really not sure. Is this a personal number of yours that I'm calling, or is this like a Blog Talk Radio?
This is Blog Talk Radio.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really not sure. I mean, I heard everything she said through the phone call that I'm still on, not the live broadcast on the website. So, I think if you get another caller, you can probably just bring them on again because I was on that entire time. I've been on since you answered.
Yeah, I know, but I'm running Facebook Live on my phone, and if I get off the screen, the broadcast on Facebook Live, and actually, it's very interesting too because hardly anybody listens to the show on Blog Talk Radio, so it just seems like very suspicious. I mean, I would say 10 times the amount, but hey, look at what happened. Look at what happened. We're talking about all this stuff, and then it stops. So if anyone, goes like, "Oh, that's not a government agent," that look at what they did. Look at what we were doing, and look at what they stopped us from doing, or wasted our time and
put. It just completely threw off both of our trains of thought.
Right.
And just now we've gone on for 5 minutes talking about this moron.
Right. Exactly. You're right.
Ridiculous.
All right. Well, in any event, let's get to some more of the headlines. Let's see. Army trucks driving through New York City.
If you don't mind, can I stay on?
Yeah, stay on the line. Absolutely. Army trucks.
Thanks.
She's calling from Alaska, and she said her phone is a burner. Did you record her, Bryant Stevenson? Please record her. Okay. So somebody calling from a burner phone in Alaska? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Army trucks in New York City. Dow dive erases all gains under Trump. We referenced that earlier. So this unprecedented thank you Bryant Stevenson. This unprecedented and tell her like, she's sick. That's what she's into, and like that's disgusting to me. So anybody who knows me knows that I, as far as that goes, like adult women. I don't know what kind of sick crap she's into, but that is beyond question as far as I am concerned, and as as far as things go with me. Colorado's unprecedented 1,600% surge in unemployment application crashes Labor Department website. All is well. All is well.
Chris,
Yeah.
if I could just butt in for a second, the same thing happened here in my state. The unemployment service the server just crashed last week. So it's just utter chaos.
Yeah. Okay. Now we got somebody saying they say there's no army in New York City. There is. It's they're driving down Fifth Avenue in MRAPs. Yeah, it's like that everywhere. I don't want to just act as if it's Colorado. It's just a a link that I saw and shared. Absolutely, it's going on the same everywhere. Google co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin relinquished their title and stepped down. Forbes.com. So that's who that last caller was working for. Most renters will not receive protection under White House proposal. AP News. Malaria drug, which is what they're ramping up to give to people, causes brain damage that mimics PTSD. That's from militarytimes.com. Senators must be investigated. Dumping stocks after COVID-19 classified briefing is insider trading. That's sarahcarter.com. I wish I'd have shared something else other than that link, but they're doing it. Earthquake, 5.2 magnitude quake strikes off Northern California coast. UK preparing to deploy army to fight coronavirus outbreak. Press TV for that one. FEMA proposes martial law to contain coronavirus. There's looting in San Francisco. You can see that. Coronavirus reality check. Yes, US and EU will track our smartphone location data. Get used to it. U.S. military given continuity of government standby orders for COVID-19 pandemic. That's intelnews.org. Yeah. Yeah, that would be great. That would be great if everybody would listen live all at once. I mean, I'm not great at many things in life. I'm great at getting to the bottom of things, though. Or maybe to say it better, it's so obvious, and my mind is unwarped when it comes to this sort of information. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, we're seeing stuff. There's supposedly 400. So thank you. Man, they just keep knocking me off. U.S. military giving continuity of government standby orders for COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time in modern history of the United States, the Department of Defense has been given standby orders to ensure the continuity of government in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. These extraordinary measures, which include evacuating White House officials to remote quarantine locations and devolving the nation's leadership to second-tier officials, were originally meant for an aftermath of a nuclear war. Hey, Matt, you've been listening. Matt, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Chris.
Okay, you've been listening.
I'm muted so I don't call for something and interrupt you.
Yeah. I just want to make a point here. Okay, you've been listening to the whole show, correct?
I tuned in about 2 minutes late, but yeah.
Okay, so you heard again when we read from the Militia Handbook the protocol for continuity of government and continuity of operations.
Yeah, this is something that you've been talking about for a long time, and here it is.
Yeah, I mean, and it's exactly like we said, and we've identified the places where in the book where these folks are going to go, where their escape route is, and that was for a purpose. And we explained that yet that this was designed for the aftermath of a nuclear war, but it's not limited to that. It could be any emergency situation, you know, uh, man-made or otherwise. Go ahead, Matt.
I saw an article, and it was something like private jet flight canceled, super rich can't go to their bunkers, or something to that degree. So even some of these people that thought, that they would go to some remote island in the South Pacific somewhere so they could be safe, even they can't leave.
Well, I will say that a lot of these folks, we've been reading articles about them already going to ground weeks ago. So, and I think this
Okay.
fits in with the all these CEOs like dropping out and all this other stuff. Let's see. According to Newsweek,
And
uh,
Chris, if
yeah,
I could just make one more point,
go for it.
a virus, a so-called virus, is the perfect uh, scenario for martial law, for COG, because people look at the people that are just, quarantining themselves
Right,
and stopping their normal activities themselves without the force of the government.
right,
Where they're just,
exactly.
you know,
That's
doing it
exactly
themselves. The government doesn't even have to do anything like that.
that's exactly the key point. And this was the key point with why they had to do a virus to shut down, because it's like, oh, it's a virus, it's nobody's fault. It's not our fault that the economy imploded, it's the virus's fault. It's not our fault that we're telling you you can't go outside, we're trying to protect you from getting a virus. Yeah, so it's a perfect scenario plan for their trick. It's a perfect trick. And it is something that is not difficult to come up with as far as a plan to implement complete global lockdown. It is something that anyone would come up with enough time to think about it and easily carry it out. So we're getting back into the fact that for the first time in the modern history of the United States, the Department of Defense has been given standby orders to ensure the continuity of government in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we read
If I
that.
could just say something else.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, this is an article, Times of Israel, from 6 days ago, March 14th. Israel coronavirus cases climbed to 164, nearly 40,000 in quarantine. And then if you scroll down a little bit, Israel has seen no deaths from the virus so far.
Right. That doesn't seem to match up with the with
Dying over there.
right. Doesn't seem to match up with the rates either. Let's get back to this continuity of government and continuity of operations. And hey, thanks for bringing that up, because a key point is when they start getting the so-called vaccine out there, which you would be insane to take, it's going to be coming from Israel. I mean, Teva Industries, I believe they're the ones that are trying to start giving out this malaria drug to combat this particular non-malaria virus, and that's what is causing brain damage. In info, according to the Military Times. Um, according to Newsweek, above top secret contingency plans are now in place in case the nation's constitutional power successors are incapacitated by the pandemic. Standby orders have been issued for a series of plans under the U.S. NORTHCOM, U.S. Northern Command, which was created in response to the 9/11 attacks. So this is exactly what we read out of the Militia Handbook. Yeah, I think that they're discussing forced vaccinations. There are mainstream media articles about forced vaccinations. So I was thinking that even before any of this came up. So yes, I do believe that. These operations are codenamed Octagon, Free Jack, and Zodiac, said Newsweek, and include Con Plan 3400, Homeland Defense, if the U.S. itself is battlefield, Con Plan 3500, defending civil authorities in an emergency, and Con Plan 3600, defending the national capital region from an attack. That is why they decimated all the pro-Second Amendment gun statutes in the Commonwealth of Virginia. That right there. Defending the national capital region. What's the national capital region? Maryland, West Virginia, and Virginia. And one might even include Pennsylvania in all of that. Because when they ban liquor and gun sales in Pennsylvania, I can tell you where it is likely that certain folks are going. And when you're in Camp David, Maryland, or Site C on South Mountain, which is called Pentagon Reservation, then you are a stone's throw away from Raven Rock Complex, Pennsylvania, which is Pentagon Reservation, along with Site C and some of the essential plumbing, HVAC, and other facilities in Pentagon City, Virginia, attached to the Pentagon building. Let's see. Newsweek added that the Defense Secretary, Mark Esper, has authorized NORTHCOM to prepare to deploy in support of these potential extraordinary missions. These include the possibility of some form of martial law where military commanders would be given executive powers across the U.S. until a new civilian leadership would emerge. An added complication of these plans is that the military itself is vulnerable to the coronavirus pandemic, which makes for extraordinary circumstances, said Newsweek. In recognition of this vulnerability, the Defense Department has instituted unprecedented restrictions for off-base activities of military personnel, having first banned overseas travel. The Pentagon is now keeping all uniformed personnel on or nearby military bases across the country and the world. Newsweek added that several other national security agencies are following the Pentagon's contingency plans and that continuity personnel at the White House are readying for an evacuation. My goodness. All right. Hey, I think David's on the line. Somebody's calling from New Orleans. 985 caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Shotgun.
No. What's your name?
Susie.
I'm sorry?
I'm David's friend. I'm David's friend. I've called him before.
Okay. Yeah. What's your name?
Shotgun.
Shotgun is your name. Okay. Okay.
That's my nick. Yeah, Shotgun City.
Oh.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Like, hold on. Like, seriously, give what your real name is, so this can be like a serious thing.
It's Susie. I told you.
Okay, Susie. Okay. All right, Susie. Yeah, go ahead. You got the floor.
Okay. while they've had the schools shut down, they're installing 5G in all the schools. Okay? And that frequency was used by Dr. Jose Delgado in the 50s to mind control animals and people. And he worked on MK Ultra. Okay? So there is another part of the plan right there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I mean they have mind control frequencies that they're putting out, as we speak. I mean, we've been discussing the mind control patents going back to the 1960s through the 70s and through the 80s and through the 90s. Yeah. I mean, they don't need 5G to do that. I mean, 5G may make it easier. But
it does make it easier, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying that. Yeah, right.
They've all got the chip in already.
Well, I mean, they may. I don't know. I mean, how do you know that for certain?
I don't know that for certain, but they sure get a lot of shots, don't they?
Oh yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, certainly.
Because that Dr. Delgado used what was like a nanofiber thing in the brain of
Right.
animals to control them. So they've been spraying that shit on us for a long time. And if you notice the last few days, they are floods in this country.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Everybody
Yeah.
I talk to is flooded, and nobody I talk to has ever. Nobody knows anybody that's got COVID. So
Right.
it's horseshit.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm stating. Yeah, I mean, somebody out there would know somebody else with coronavirus, what they call COVID-19, if this was real.
Yeah.
And again, I wish to be a little more precise than what I just said. Not if this is real. It's real. Things are really happening, and there are real coronaviruses. However, if there was a real pandemic that required a real response, then it's not happening now. That's not what's happening now. There's not the actions taken by this government are unprecedented, and I would say it's not necessarily a coup because everybody in the government is going along with it. They're the ones that are promoting it, and
everybody in the government gets to be Israeli citizen. That's why every one of them bastards is dual Israeli. That's why they're doing this shit.
Sure. Yeah, I mean that's clear, and that's basically who's got the coronavirus: celebrities, politicians, CEOs, and these Synagogue of Satan members. Who else has it? Nobody. Idris Elba has it. The CEO of Altria has it. Tom Hanks has it. This one place that's got a population of 95% Jews in New Rochelle, New York. That's where we got to shut it down. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I do not know anyone personally either who has contracted the disease, and my mother's friend brother-in-law allegedly has it, and he is of Khazarian stock. So there you go.
Allegedly. And
yeah, apparently he has it.
Okay, look, my friend's son was tested for it, and they told him he had it, but they, the mouth swab, but they won't do the full test on him at all. Why?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have any idea about any of this stuff. I mean, again, I told y'all the inside information about they're giving out papers so folks can go through checkpoints now. So, I mean, That's what
It's March 4th.
right. So it's happening. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about what's going on. We warned you. I mean, I wrote an entire book about how to prevent this, and then if you did, obviously the population was not interested in being proactive. So if you read the book, you at least know what's going on with this. And we've been talking about this for weeks. Even now, they're going like, "Oh, this is continuity of government, continuity of operations. That's what's going on here."
Yep.
And here it is.
Here's a little history fact. The Georgia Guidestones were erected March 22nd of 1980.
March 22nd of 1980. Interesting. And the 22nd will be Monday.
No, it'll be Sunday.
Sunday. Apologies. Duh. Okay. All right.
That's right. But do you see how all that ties together?
Yeah, so 30 years ago. They've been warning everybody. Oh, 40 years ago. Yeah, 1980. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 40 years ago. So.
And the democracy for all of this is right on the money for the Freemasons. So, there you go.
All right. Hey, we got another caller calling in. We're going to take this call. Everybody, if you like, please stay on the line. And we'll get to this next caller. 425 caller. What's your name and where are you calling from? Yeah, that didn't really come through on the line. What's your name and where are you calling from? All right, we're gonna mute this caller.
Chris,
Yeah.
it sounded like that person said jacking off dog.
Yeah, well, I got that number as well.
So another troll.
Yeah. That was 425 area code. Let's see.
Another troll was 423.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna get that number up so folks can. Oh yeah, I'll get the number up for you, Bill Wright. If I can. So it just shows you like what would be going through somebody's mind to interrupt the show, this information in that way. Like who would do that? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they might. Yeah, they're probably using virtual numbers too. But you know, how did you even hear that? I can't. Like, it's coming out of my phone. I can't even hear what these folks are saying.
The first time she answered, it was completely staticky, and it actually hurt my ears. It was very high pitched.
Right.
And then the second thing that the individual said,
yeah, don't repeat it. Don't repeat it. Don't repeat it. Yeah. I mean, it's disgusting. It's only a sick person can even think about those things. So that's all I have to say. I know there's a lot of sick folks out there, so it doesn't bother me. That's doesn't have anything to do with me. It has to do with them. I mean, that's disgusting. Yeah, that individual's number is 425-341-0357. That number again, 425-341-0357. So yeah, call and record, see if you can get these folks on the line. They're pure demons and totally disgusting. But there you go. What's new? What's new? All right. So we got All right. 440 caller. I'm getting ready to hang up on you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Joe from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, greetings, Joe. What's on your mind tonight?
Greetings.
Greetings.
First, I just wanted to say that whoever calling about things like that and saying that stuff, they clearly don't know anything about you because you are an animal lover and you have a dog. So that's just like really stupid, and that person is just like a troll.
Yeah, I mean, I would never do it. Yeah, yeah, I would
But
never do
also,
anything.
you don't eat meat, you know?
Yeah,
Like, what the heck?
I would never do anything to hurt an animal or a human being, unless it is a lawful action approved of by all sane and rational individuals. So I don't like to cut down a tree, hurt an animal, or anything like that. So obviously, that's all nonsense. And I have never had any sort of sexual relationship with any other entity, living entity, other than an adult woman. So, obviously, these individuals are sick, and if god god have mercy on their soul, and God please help them and help any individuals or any living things that are ever around them. And I can guarantee you that these folks are getting paid by the government. Who else would go to this obscure uh, uh call in line to call and make such statements? But anyway, hey, it works for them because it throws us off from exactly shining a laser on all the criminal activity that they're doing right this second. Go ahead, caller. I don't want to waste any more time with that.
Very true, very true. Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to point that out there.
Yeah.
So what is interesting about this whole coronavirus um situation is that like we know that this is coming from the government and media that are known liars, and they have been tricking people since the Iraq War with weapons of mass destruction and the 13 hijackers and 9/11. And I think people are getting sick out there, but this is, I think it's a psychological operation as well. And like Rahm Emanuel said, never let a good crisis go to waste. And these people are going to use this to every advantage that they can.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. And uh I couldn't disagree with any of that. It's definitely a major psychological operation, maybe the ultimate psychological operation up to this point in history. And British Lebanese is saying, one begs the question: was it all about Brexit? The food scares have come. Food banks in London's Islington are closed after Monday, and this is also another issue and problem that we're having now. Is with California shut down, there are scares about um, uh, uh, the food chain and food getting to Americans. That there will be a scarcity of food in the United States of America due to the shutting down of the state of California. All right, we got lots of callers, so I mean, half of them are sick individuals saying like disgusting things that you know I'm sorry that anybody has to hear about or think about. But hey, I mean, it's we're taking callers because folks have to be able to communicate with each other during this period. So we are going to take the caller. Um, yeah, I believe we all being super MK Ultra. That's right. Okay, so 205. No offense, but we got a quick hook on here. What's your name? Where are you calling from? I think that was another one of those freaking calls. Um, uh, I guess folks can say that 205 if there was something else going on with your weird stuff, weird phone stuff, call back. If not, flake off. Um, all right. Where can we go from here? I mean, it's let's see. Intel warnings of virus threat unheeded. Okay. So that's what they're saying to us, that the virus threats were unheeded, and that's what they're telling us on CNN right now. I don't know whether that's true or not, but in any event, that's what they're talking about on live television during all this stuff. I mean, does that really matter? Does that matter at all? Unheeded. I mean, that's an absurd statement for anybody who knows anything about what's going on. All right, let's stick with the headlines then. And folks on the line, feel free to chime in. I'm not on the studio line, so I don't see if that there are new callers. But we'll just get to it. Hey, greetings, Tyson from the UK. Jared Kushner is reportedly leading a chaotic coronavirus shadow task force after telling Trump in the outbreaks early. This is quite a long headline, so I'll have to go on another link to get the rest of the headline. So there's not only a shadow government that's operating under continuity of government, there's a shadow task force. Jared Kushner is reportedly leading a chaotic coronavirus shadow task force after telling Trump in the outbreak's early days the crisis was overblown. Oh, what do we say about that? I don't even know what to say to this such nonsense confusion. How is everybody not just thoroughly confused by this? I think that's the big thing. Hey, here's something not quite coronavirus related. Egypt and Ethiopia are heading for war over the water in the Nile. All right, so yeah, people are gonna fight wars over water resources, and that's part of the overall major war. China's coronavirus recovery is, quote, all fake, whistleblowers and residents claim. That's yahoo.com. The upcoming job. What's that?
I have one thing I wanted to bring up quick.
Yeah, go for it.
I wanted to bring up quick. This is Joe. This is another big thing that I've been researching that has kind of been overshadowed by the coronavirus event, is what's going on the Greek-Turkey border over there. There's basically an invasion happening, and Erdogan, who is the leader of Turkey,
Erdogan, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's just pure chaos going on over there, but we're not hearing about it at all in our media.
Absolutely, yeah. We're not hearing about it, but yeah, it's many theaters of war in this biological, psychological, conventional, unconventional, symmetrical, asymmetrical war. It's all the kind of wars rolled up into one. Here's a headline folks can read. Yeah, come again with that. Sue, yeah, okay. Hey, we're getting a lot of calls coming through. All right, hey, we're gonna take a couple more calls, and I'm taking screenshots of all these numbers. We're gonna skip over this 423 caller because I think that's the same person that keeps calling, and caller 916. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, buddy, it's Mark the Arcturian. How are you?
Oh, I'm
a messenger out there.
I'm well, thank you. Hope you're doing well also. Yeah, what's on your mind tonight?
You're doing an awesome job telling the whole world. I just got off a 2-hour broadcast on the greatest talk show talking about the scenarios which are playing out before our very eyes.
Right.
And as one of your callers, I just want to give a clarification. Mark the Arcturian, Captain USS Arcturus, think Kirk, Starship Captain here from the future to save a world that obviously doesn't want saving from itself.
Right.
So, unless you have a lot of guys calling in saying they're Starship Captains, when I'm from, all of this has already happened. A little bit differently than this. And we have a lot of factors which have changed things, including CERN, etc.
Okay.
The fellow who said martial law is really easy when people are shut in.
Right.
Frankly, don't you just love how they're referring to martial law as nicely as shelter in place? In fact, we're going to increase your internet. We're not going to turn off your phone. More data. Have some food. That's right. We're not going to evict you. We're going to give you money, and someone will be along for you momentarily. And what would you like for your last meal?
Right.
See, now here's the thing. You remember yesterday, China discusses EMP pulse. Remember that headline?
Yes.
China is talking about using an EMP pulse. Well, here's when they're going to bring in the trucks. See, there's no difference between shelter in place and martial law except the trucks outside. When do you do that? During a power outage.
Right.
Well, how do you justify shutting off? First of all, they shut down America. Now everyone's in the know. And by the way,
Yeah.
by the way, you're on the list. I'm on the list of dissidents that talk out against, or hey, this isn't right. I'm on that list. I've been on that list for years when they drive up to the. So under the cover of darkness, under a power outage, how do you rationalize a power outage? The Chinese did it, an EMP pulse. So
Yeah.
when the power goes out, they blame it on the Chinese. They roll the trucks in, and they come to you by Facebook identification.
Okay. Hold on. Caller. Sorry, but I don't want to be I don't want to be over fearful, and I do wish to be accurate. So we discussed the event 201. It took place in October of this last October, and that coincided with
the John Hopkins pandemic game.
Right.
John Hopkins game they play at the university to see. Yeah, okay.
Right. Okay. So at that same time, or several weeks before that, on October 3rd, the United States Marine Corps was mobilized inside the United States, and we just read an article about continuity of government and continuity of operations for the first time ever being operationalized, and the fact that all these scenarios, including warfare inside the United States, with being carried out by the United States government, it's mainstream media articles now. So, so when the United States Marine Corps was activated, deployed inside the United States, they were also having Fort Bragg. No, maybe it wasn't Fort Bragg. Which was it? The largest East Coast Marine base, and they're going out to 29 Palms, California, and right as they're being deployed for this unprecedented war games operation in California, that's when California starts cutting off the power to millions, using as an excuse these fires that they started themselves. So it doesn't need to be an EMP attack. They can just tell you that they're going to cut off power, and it doesn't even need to have to do with anything, including a fire. They just shut it off, shut off the power.
Right. I'll jump in because I'm in California. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're coming through fine.
Okay, okay. I'm in California. My power was just out for 4 days, and I couldn't help but wonder if it's intentional. Now, I live high in the Sierras, and we had snow, and the power went out. That happens up here. But when it really happens, see, in the winter, it's harder to shut it off because of the fire or wind, or for the whole state or for a whole country. So I expanded it, and I just got. That's why they leak. They drip EMP China for when the power goes out when they turn it off. So it could be any number of reasons. At this
True.
point, it doesn't matter if there is no virus. I mean, they succeeded in doing, and then it doesn't even have to kill a lot of people. Only enough so that we will beg them for the vaccine. Who knows what's in it? Nanotechnology vaccine, which is what they wanted us to have in the first place. And you'll have to get this little chip so we can scan you and verify you had your shot. Cashless society, that's already a fait accompli. They did that first.
Sure.
So we're well underway if you want to spin that conspiracy theory, which I'm all for, frankly.
Well, it's not even a conspiracy theory anymore. It's just what's happening. I discussed this on a show on Revolution Radio on Wednesday when it's been years since they've been turning Walmarts into FEMA camps. There's lots of them. They did it especially in California, but in other places as well, all over the country. They always turn Walmarts into a FEMA camp. So that's not a thing that's to be contemplated anymore. That's, you got to be a dummy not to know that that's already happened. Yeah.
I want to see. They also just hired. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, caller.
You saw the headlines. Walmart just hires 153,000 workers with bonus pay, and I wonder if that's not to set up the centers. Now, when the president says we're going to be working very closely with Walmart, my alarm bells go off. My Arcturian spidey senses go way off. Now, look, from when I'm from, this doesn't look very pretty. This timeline that we're in, which is a viral simulation, kind of like Event 201, it's not reality. No one's getting actually hurt here. We're on the holodeck in the Matrix. I don't care, but we have to do this to get the data. So the next timeline, we don't make the same mistake the first time.
Well, here's what I think.
Pay attention to how it goes down.
Let me give you my opinion on these sorts of things. Yeah, sorry to cut you off, caller, but I just wish to get this out because I've been discussing this with Clifford over the past several weeks and some other people. Basically, I think that they're going to do the blackouts. I think that's going to be seasonal. I think these virus shutdowns, I think they'll be seasonal. I think they might have, certain times during the year when it might be I won't say all clear, but you can do certain things. Like there are times when bars might be open, maybe a couple months out of the year, or the sporting events might take place. Right. Susie, hey, the call's not coming through clear on your end, Susie. I don't know if you can hear me, but it's coming through really choppy.
Susie, you're underwater. Try dialing back in again, hon, because we want to hear proof that you're clean so you can go in the center. And
right.
Armbands won't work.
No, it's still coming through. It's still coming through really wonky. Okay. There's another caller coming in right now. Hold on.
Buddy, you keep spreading the word, and I thank you for taking the call. I'm Mark the Arcturian, and we'll be right back.
All right, thanks, Mark. All right, thanks for calling, Mark. God bless. All right, Bill Wright says, I live in Chico, California, and they keep shutting down my power over wind. Chico also set up FEMA camp at our Walmart during the campfire. It happened, and I saw it firsthand. And I can tell you another thing that happened at when they shut down that FEMA camp at the Chico Walmart, which I discussed the Chico Walmart on Wednesday night show as well. they had quarantined that location because of a norovirus. So the campfire resulted in a FEMA camp at the Chico, California Walmart being shut down because of a
Hey,
norovirus outbreak.
you know what I just got? The fire was to cover up the virus.
Well, I mean, it could be. I mean, there's noroviruses, they're bad news. They really are. That's not where you want to be when you have a norovirus at a FEMA camp at Walmart. I can tell you that sounds like torture. All right, hey, we got another caller coming through. Let me get to this next caller, and if we can, I'm not gonna put in jeopardy the show, but I'm gonna try this caller. And 206, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Misty. I'm from Georgia. So I'm curious about breastfeeding moms and formula because there's no formula in the stores now. So is the government going to start supplying formula or do our babies die?
That's a good question. I would say.
Thing for your baby is mother's breast milk. Give them mother's breast milk. That's the best and healthiest thing you can give them. It'll save.
Hold on now. Hold on now.
Can I give my baby dog cum? What if I want to give my baby dog cum? Also, my knees hurt. Maybe I should stop sucking dog dick.
I hate that.
It's yet another troll or person calling from another number.
Right. Yeah. Wow. This is.
I'm
And I'll tell you what they're doing now. I'll tell you what they're doing. Is they are limiting where this information can be heard. Because when they say things like that, it violates the standards for YouTube. It violates the standards for any place that has any decency standards. So isn't that weird? Isn't that a weird thing that that it really hasn't been like we get this a lot. We normally get it's not quite as disgusting as this stuff is, but we do get that a lot. And yeah, just hey, what else is there to say? Everything's shut down. We were 100% correct. We're telling you. Let me see. Let's.
inject real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to locate that caller. It was a 206 caller. I don't know if I got that number, Bill.
Like a good point from this caller is that it's disturbing that they're calling in and saying those things, and then the fact that that's a girl doing that just like makes it worse, and it's like she needs to really figure out her life. But what I wanted to say too is that so this whole madness thing that we got going on, it's like how do you avoid this? How do you save yourself? Well, you find ways to become self-sufficient and you live off the land, way far away from the city. That's how you save yourself.
Oh, wait a sec, caller. Joe. Hold on. Yeah, I mean that's easier said than done. Nobody has any money. How's anybody gonna buy any property? I mean, how's anybody gonna escape? You can't even, within a few days, you're not even gonna be able to drive around without a permit that says you can be outside. According to what it seems like to me. I mean, I've seen it. They're giving out permits to say, hey, hand this to military and law enforcement at checkpoints. This is what you hand to them. So how's anybody going to get to that? I don't disagree that would be a good place to be right now. But that's kind of like, I mean, it's just like saying that, like, hey, the best thing to have right now is a underground city and a freaking an underground seed bank. I mean,
Sort of
it's
like the Underworld. I can't remember the name of the show, but there's a show called that where people were living underground so they could live the way they wanted to live.
well, yeah. I mean, I think that they will. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, oh yeah, I was just going to say that. So the solution is to live off the land, but if you look at like recent media and movies and stuff, there's always been a demonization towards people who did that, and they always say, "Oh, you live out there. You're a country folk. You're backwards. You're a hillbilly. You're not living in the city. You're not."
I'm born, bred, generation, 5 generations of farmers, and I'm 30+.
Farmers are dumb, and that's why they don't want people doing that type of stuff.
Well,
Because farmers know a little bit about everything.
I would say that's probably true. I don't know. I don't know how any of this is. I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, the place to be is out of a city, away from it, away from the crowds and all that. But they're already training. I mean, we told you back in 2014, 2015, and 2016, they are training. They're doing training right out in the open, right out in the freaking open to shut down American cities.
2017.
Right on. They're shutting down American cities. They're practicing to do this. They have at Fort AP Hill in Virginia. Right. Let me get this out real quick. Okay. So they've been doing it, and they've been training to track down individuals, especially in rural parts of Virginia, and they have this plan for all across the country. That's why they're mobilizing the military.
They're going to be surprised in Washington State, though. That's where I'm from. Everybody owns guns in Washington State. 32% of the population have concealed carry. So that's more than any other state. They're going to be a little bit surprised they start trying to tell those.
Do you think that they're going to be surprised? I don't think they'll be surprised. They have weaponized drones and weaponized killbots.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many guns somebody has. They've got drones.
Oh, well, I'm just saying that there's a whole town full of people that don't like outsiders messing with them still.
Well, I don't see them doing anything right now, and they're being messed with by outsiders 100%.
They have energy weapons that'll wipe them. Oh, I know. They got those. They have those helicopters that they can. The machines that they can shoot down helicopter with laser beams, shut down all the electricity inside a helicopter. They've had that since the early 2000s.
Yeah, I mean there are drones. I'm concerned with robotics as far as that goes. I'm not concerned with old generations of weapons like guns. I mean, even though I would say as far as gun activists in the United States of America, I'm the #1 gun activist. But I am not stupid enough to think that personal guns, even high-powered long rifles, are going to be any match to the United States or the criminal entity masquerading as the United States military. It's just not rational.
I agree, but I'm just saying that it's not going to go down without something, because when they had that big landslide there and FEMA wasn't letting them in to rescue people, people took it upon themselves to go alternate routes and save people.
Good. I mean, I wish for the best.
It's a different kind of state.
Okay, I wish for the best.
The more different it gets.
That very well may be, and I wish for the best. However, however, it is it's too late for that sort of thing. It's too late. It's too late. I mean, to me, I'm not going to get all up in arms about scare tactics or anything like that. I'm not saying anybody's using it. We're you know we're saying what's really happening out there. That being said, I mean, life hasn't changed that much for me. Everybody's still walking around the neighborhoods.
I know they have MP stationed out at Fred Meyer's in Marysville, only letting 30 people at a time in the stores.
I just talked to somebody from Marysville last night. I didn't hear anything about that. But maybe it's new.
Oh, yeah, my son's been there.
Okay.
It is right down the road from it.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. We're getting to the end of the broadcast, folks.
I believe my kid before I believe anything on the news.
Right on. Right on. All right. We're getting near the end of the broadcast. I want to thank everybody for calling. And
guys keep you're just doing the good deed.
Right on.
Thanks.
We shall. Thanks. So, any last words? Excuse me, Freudian slip. Any final thoughts on tonight's show? It would just be the last words on tonight's show. Obviously, not the last word. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I really just wanted to say what you always say. Peace and God bless.
All right. Hey, appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Have faith in God. Don't worry about all this crap.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's all anybody can do and has to do. Just, have faith in God, and that's all anybody can do under any circumstances. Joe, any final thoughts?
No, you're going to a better place if you go.
We're not even going that far. Everybody's fine right now, and we don't plan on giving up any of our freedom, and we're just doing the prudent thing right now. We know we're at war, and but
not giving up your freedom is going to be against the law.
well, it might be against the statutes, but it can never be against the law. Joe, final thoughts.
Final thoughts are just like you say, it's all in your face, and if you want an example of that, check out Lockheed Martin's website and the type of stuff they're developing, or go to DARPA's YouTube page. And it's a little crazy, but like you guys say, good always prevails in the end, and maybe we're just being taught some type of universal lesson down here or something, but if you have faith in God, you know that the good side always wins.
Amen. All right. Well, thanks. It was a good show. I mean, we did have the worst of humanity calling in over and over again for some reason.
Because nobody likes the truth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nobody likes the truth. Or the criminals don't like the truth. So in any event, but as bad as that was, we had good callers, and we put it out there. I mean, the information's out there. Folks know what's going on. They know what to do. Yeah. Thank you. All right, we're gonna sign off for now. We'll be broadcasting. Yeah.
Have a good one, man. I'm probably gonna call in next week also.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Matt. Sounds great. Sounds great. So we'll sign off, and we'll probably be broadcasting between now and next Friday as well, as essential information needs to be disseminated. So thank you very much for joining us here on the Militia Intelligence Report. Peace and God bless.